Okay, what's going on YouTube? Happy Monday. I just want to go ahead and get into a topic. And I think this topic is needed because right now, we're going through the government thing and, the credit rating has been downgraded, whatever, which is ridiculous. This country is strong enough not to even have credit. We should be a debt-free country anyway. But anyways, I'm going to give a lesson today, and this is on business. Now, you guys have heard me say before, look, don't go out and borrow money for a business. And there's a great reason why. Because a lot of you may say, hey, I want to start a business. And that's why I started that. I was studying business at the time, so I had a little bit of a push start to go ahead and get started. But some of you don't have no background whatsoever when it comes to business, and you want to go out and you want to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars to start something that you know nothing about. Now, doesn't it make sense? Some people say, well, how much money do you need in order to actually start a business? That's a good question. And my answer to that question is to start with what is in your pocket. If you got $500 in your pocket, that's where you start. If you have $100 in your pocket, that's where you start. And there's another thing that should be added onto that also. Not only should you start with that, but you should be able to afford to lose that if possible. I'm going to say that point again. You have to be able to afford to lose that. If that $100 is the last thing that you have to your name, then you're not ready. You see, and the power of starting at the bottom is that you're going to make mistakes. That's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. But the thing about it is that when you make those mistakes, you're going to learn. Because you're going to tell yourself when you first start, I'm not going to stop. No matter what mistakes I make in the beginning, I'm going to take that and I'm going to learn from that mistake and I'm going to keep moving. Because you're growing at that point. You see, when you borrow money from a bank and you know nothing about business, it's like putting a first grader in the 12th grade. How do you think that first grader is going to perform in the 12th grade? This is why people open businesses, they close businesses, and after they close the businesses, guess what happens? They have the loans still, right? Still paying on the loans and no business. You see a mom and pop shop open, you see a mom and pop shop close. Because a lot of them also are opening the business for themselves. They start off saying, you know what, I think I got a good idea of what this place needs. But it's what you think the place needs. You have to serve the people. You have to serve the people. You're not selling to yourself. You're selling to other people. So, with that being said, guys, I can't put it any better. I mean, I know people, right, who gross $1 million in a business and they still have to borrow money from people. Does that make sense? You know why they still have to borrow money from people? It's because their expenses are freaking through the roof. But when you start a business out of your pocket, when you turn that $100 into $1,000, and that $1,000 into $10,000, and that $10,000 into $100, and so on, you owe no one. Some people say, well, aren't you supposed to get your investment back in 3 to 5 years or something of this nature? No. I want my investment back within a month. Or even that day. If I spend money on something, I want money on it that day when I step in front of people. That's the return on investment. That's the proper way. But a lot of us don't have no patience. We have no patience to learn. So what do we want to do? We want to go out and borrow money and think we're great at business. No. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make them. So that has to be in your business plan. Nobody has a perfect business. And those mistakes, like I said, are great. They're not bad things. So that's what I have to say on this, guys. Let me hear your questions, your comments, and things that you may have. And that's all I have to say, guys. If this is your first time watching this channel, glad to have you. please subscribe. And until next time, signing off.